we can see that it is going to be in our top left hand corner. What is up, you guys? Today I am going to be showing you another part of our how to create a horror game from scratch series. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be covering just some of the basic hunger mechanics once again as we continue to iron that out and finish that. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click, go to user interface, and do a widget blueprint, and just call this your HUD, because this is where our bars are going to be showing our hunger and our stamina later on. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open your third person character, and then within here there's a couple things I want to remark real quick. So in the beginning, when we were walking over and we were waiting for our hunger to come down, you could see the numbers over here on the top left. If you do not want those to show, just simply delete these print strings. Another thing I want to address too is if you come to your food items, in the previous video we walked up to it repeatedly until we got the hunger that we wanted. If you only want the person to walk over that food item like one time, what you would do is just simply after the cast a third person character, just right click and do a delete or destroy actor, and basically execute and put that in. So when the player walks on the item, they get their food, which our hunger's already full, and that item is destroyed, so they have to go find another chicken leg. So those are two little things I just wanted to cover up real quick. So now on to the fun stuff. So if you go back to your blueprint here for your third person character, first person character, you're going to want to come down and find a little space, right click and do begin play. So what's happening is when the game starts, this line is about to execute. So what you do is you drag off, do create widget, and then for the class, select your HUD. So basically, when the game starts, our HUD menu will create, and from here we will cast add to viewport. Add to viewport. So now when the game plays, it creates our menu, and from our menu it shows on our character's screen. Also, make sure that you have your return value set up to the target. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go back to our HUD here and open it up and bring in two text images. One of them is going to be basically our hunger, and the other one is going to be our stamina. Now of course you can stamina, and of course this can be changed like in color and font and position depending on what you want, but this is just to basically show you the general concept of things. The next thing you're going to want to do is we're going to want to make a new folder so we can keep track of everything. Put in the content folder, there we go. And our new folder, we will simply rename this assets import, because this is where we're going to be importing our assets. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click and import to game assets, and then simply select the two assets that you're bringing in, which is going to be the progress bars. These will be linked in the description down below. If you want to use them, feel free. If not, you can use progress bars that you have found on the internet as long as you have permission, or from the marketplace as well. Alright, so the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to bring in a progress bar. And the reason we are doing this is because it's actually going to be in the progress of decreasing or increasing depending if you're getting hunger or you're losing hunger. So drag that in, and under style, click image, and then click the one that you specifically want. We're just going to use red for our hunger on this one, so we'll just move this up here, kind of spend some time to actually make this look a little bit nice for you guys. And so something like that, and now what's going to happen is that this is going to decrease or increase accordingly, depending on like what is happening to our hunger and stamina. One thing I did notice is that this is flipped in backwards. So the way to fix that is just go to render transform, drop the transform, and then go to angle here, and then just simply adjust it. So this is going to be 180 degrees. So that way it starts and then it drops down toward the warning area here. I don't know why it put it in like that. It's weird, so I do apologize. Now, if we just compile this real quick and we go and play, we can see that our HUD menu is going to be in the top left now, which is our hunger, and it's also going to be where our stamina is. But we are going to add more functionality to that later, because as you can see, nothing is happening, and neither is anything happening to our stamina. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that this actually stays up here in the top left hand corner. And so the way to do that is just simply select it. And if you scroll all the way up to the anchors, just anchor it to the top left or wherever you want your stamina bar or hunger bar to be. I originally was going to put it down here in the bottom right, bottom left, but the reason that I'm putting it up here is because, in my personal opinion, it's a little bit easier to see, and I have plans to show you a neat little trick down here in the bottom left for a mini map. So that way, if I did do that, it would be conflicting, so I just put it up here in the top left. Now, just like before, we are going to do the same thing that we did with our hunger. So get a progress bar and drop it in, bring this out, and then for your background image, change it to whatever your stamina bar is going to be. Now you got to scroll all the way back down to the render transformation and adjust the angle to 180, so that way it's full and then it drops to the bottom here. So the next thing we are going to want to do is we can look at the progress bar, and as we increase, which in this case would be like decreasing hunger, it will be dropping down, and as you can see, this color is a little weird. We're going to change that. So the best way, in my opinion, is to just simply mess around in the color thing. For the hunger bar, in this case, what I did was I kind of did like a darker version of the red, just played with it. So as they were losing hunger, it continues to like decrease and then like drop down. Make it darker according to like what best fits you, in your opinion. So just play around with this. This is kind of like the fun part of game development. But yeah, basically do that, and then the same thing for our stamina. If I do the same thing, as you can see here, the color's messed up, so just kind of go like a little bit darker. And as you can see, we need to go darker. Maybe actually go to almost like a black. Yeah, and as you can see, as the stamina decreases, it's almost gone. But we don't want it that dark because it's conflicting with the warning. So then it's like, yeah, just play around, adjust accordingly to what best fits you. But overall, make sure that that's the case. You can also adjust how the bar fills. You can go from right to left if you wanted it different. You can fill from the top to the bottom, and etc. So depending on what you're using, there's going to be different formats for you. So play around, mess around, and see what the best option is. Now, of course, just make sure that our anchors for the stamina is set up properly as well to the top left, along with everything else. And that is how we create the first part of our HUD menu. So if I compile once again, we play, we can see that it is going to be in our top left hand corner, and then we are going to adjust it accordingly and functionality in the next episode.